Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Swangard Stadium on this Saturday afternoon as Unity FC and TSS Rovers lock horns for the first time this season as the Rovers look to continue their winning ways after a 4-0 win at the hands of Harborside last Saturday. This is Unity's first game for 13 days after playing altitude a couple of weeks ago at Kinsman Field. Here's your starters this afternoon. First for the visiting Unity, they make 3 changes to that game. Sebastian Colline locks into position as a goalkeeper. And numerically, Thomas Powell, number 7, number 8, Marcel Bono, number 9, Victory Shambusho, number 16, Mihai Hodut, number 17, Christian Rossi, number 18, Brandon Torreson, number 19, Mario Banovic, number 24, Xander Roxburgh, number 25, Adam Hajeki, and number 27, Kieran Eve. And for your Rovers today, one change for them is Shaya Zarjanpour is out, and in is Nico Papakriakopoulos. They go as follows: Justin Sandu in goal with Ali Zohar, Ivan Mejia, Masoud Habibullah, Matteo Polisi, Eric Edwardson, Kyle Jones, Tyler Dillon, Chris Schmidt, or make that Danilo Smichenko, Nico Papakriakopoulos, and Fugo Sagawa here this afternoon. It should be a good one here. We're excited to be bringing another game here, the last of this homestand for TSS, and no better test for this afternoon's game than Unity FC here, Michael.
Yeah, this should be an absolutely fantastic matchup between these two teams. Before we get underway, though, you may have heard after the national anthems there, we just want to pay our respects to Trina O'Hay, mother of TSS Rovers player Devin O'Hay, that sadly passed away on Thursday. I know I've interacted with her lots on social media over the last couple of years, and everyone here at AFTN, everyone at TSS Rovers, our thoughts are with Devin and the rest of the O'Hay family.
Nice moment beforehand with the teams gathering for a moment of silence, as mentioned, and obviously Devin, a key part of the Rovers last year. Thinking of him and his family right now, sending love and support through this magically difficult time. But the task at hand here, TSS trying to secure another win and continue to climb up the standings after 1 point of the first 2 games and not scoring any goals. They thrashed 4 past Harborside last week, a triple for Eric Edwardson, and a single from Matteo Polisi, who was exceptional last weekend. Unity in the white, moving from left to right. Rovers in the black, and with the white jersey number moving from right to left. And in a stunning afternoon from Swangard, the second half of this men's and women's doubleheader on this Saturday afternoon from Burnaby is underway as the Rovers on the ball right away and go to the attack.
This should certainly be an excellent encounter. These are two teams that really like to get on the front foot from the off. Called the last Unity game against Altitude, and that was an end-to-end match. Both goals in that one from each side coming in the closing moments. 2 draws to start the season for Unity. They need to start getting some wins on the board soon if they want to claim one of the top 4 spots and a place in the postseason. For TSS Rovers, they're not even thinking top 4. They want to finish the regular season standings in first place to get back to the Canadian Championship. They got their first win of the season last week, and they're going to be looking to build on that today.
What a win it was. It wasn't a 1 or 2 nail biter. It was a thrashing, and they had a lot of the ball. Harborside didn't have much of a sniff in that game. As early on, Justin Sandu pressed by Shambusho, headed forward by Bona for Rossi. He's had some time professionally with York in the CPL. As the play is blown out here, as things cool off a little bit here at Swangard. Thankfully for those players, it's quite the warm one this afternoon for the women's side of things, as Sandu will play it quickly for Tyler Dillon.
Last week, TSS had to be patient against Harborside just to get that breakthrough. Once that breakthrough came, the goals came as well, and it was the kind of confidence-boosting win that the side needed. All their exertions in the Canadian Championship put aside, they're fully focused now on the league thing. Speaking to Darren Rusher after the game, he talked about it's been difficult a little bit for them. They've kind of got 2 masters calling the shots, playing games differently as well. In the Canadian Championship, they're the underdogs. They're the team that's defending and trying to hit on the counter. In League One, they've been more the protagonists and on the front foot. And you saw everything click last week, and they want to build on that again this afternoon. And that's a very strong lineup that they've got out there this afternoon.
Edwardson trying to play it forward there for Masoud Habibullah, who would love to get his Rovers career off and running here, goalless in his first few games as a Rover, Canadian Championship and in League One BC.
5 goals for Altitude last year, Masoud Habibullah, and they all kind of came in the later stage of the season as well. He really kind of hit form over those last 4 games.
Maybe he's holding out for some more goals.
Hey, if he's going to bang 5 goals in the last 4 games for TSS Rovers and their run to hopefully finish in first place of the regular season standing, I'm pretty sure that Dan Rusher will take that right now.
Smichenko forward for Papakrikopoulos. Habibullah, the foul there.
Mentioned when we were doing the women's game a little bit earlier the fact that it was a very physical men's encounter between Altitude and Unity. Don't know if it will be as physical this afternoon. It's warm down there. It was down at the pitch level just before this game got underway. There's a little bit of a breeze, which is certainly helping. It's definitely not as warm as it was last week, though.
Mejia finding Edwardson, trying to slot it through for Kyle Jones. Picked up by Unity now.
This Unity side packed with quality as well, and a good mix of Trinity Western Spartans players that have that chemistry and that understanding as they win a free kick in a very dangerous position about 20 yards out from goal here.
Great run forward there by Marcel Bona, the tricky winger trying to make his way into the Rovers box, but a foul in the arm in the back the way of Fuko Segawa, and a free kick in a very good position here for the visitors.
Only 2 goals for Unity so far this season, both of them unassisted. Nick Fussell getting their first goal of the season. Victory Shambusho from this spot with 3 minutes to go to give them a lead that they couldn't hold on to against Altitude a couple of weeks ago.
Marcel Bona shaping up for this one for Unity on that sweet right foot. Bona will strike, blocked by the wall. I think it was Papakrikopoulos that made that one go to the far side.
Bona feeling that the wall wasn't 10 yards back there. It did look as if it might not have been, I have to say. I think he had a fair case to argue there.
Jones retreating. Up there was Xander Roxburgh, now Edwardson. Back up towards Kyle Jones. Going to have to be brave with the header he is, but to give her it back to Unity player, that's Bona. Now plays it into space there, just a bit too far. Ahead of Thomas Powell, who recovers well. Hodu now all the way back in his own half for Mario Banovic. Looks towards Shambusho here. Up there is Dylan. Dylan let it run down. Shambusho was there and cleared away by Dylan in the 6th minute. Flicked on by Powell. Segawa now back for Dylan. Sendu will have to hustle and get rid of that one as it was going to go for a corner kick for Unity, but Sendu dealt with it well. Thrown up coming for big Brandon Torreson, who was drafted in the offseason by Pacific. In the CPL draft here in the 7th minute is he'll take a throw in towards Sandu.
Our usual reminder, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, we love to hear from you during these. We love these to be interactive. Had some good interactive chat in the last game against Harbourside. Let's have the same this afternoon, wherever you're watching this around the world. Leave messages in the YouTube chat, or you can get in touch on Twitter at AFTN Canada. If you want to chat about this match, either of these teams, the League One BC season, happy to go through your talks and comments over the course of these 90 minutes.
Smichenko now finding Ivan Mejia. Tidy play from the tricky winger, finding Ali Zohar. Segawa wanted it in space, now back for Tyler Dillon.
Segawa back over on his right side this afternoon after being on the left in that win over Harbourside last week. Looked very good in the left.
Yeah, I'm torn
as
to which side I prefer him on, because he's both very good at both sides. Left-footed player, obviously.
But for a player looking to get back into the CPL, if you've got that string to your bow and you can play both full-back positions, it certainly is going to give you a little bit of a step above some of the others.
Polisi now. Great ball, Habibullah. Going to play it wide for Edwardson. Perfectly onto the pitch there as that ball was played. Edwardson from distance. Eric Edwardson pushed wide by Colon. Beauty on the left foot, and Colon denies him here in the 8th.
You can see the confidence just oozing through the veins just now of Eric Edwardson, coming off that hat-trick last week. Took a deflection on the way through that made things a little bit tricky for Colon. TSS now getting a corner, and that's more like it from this Rover side. As they're going to send players into the 6-yard box. We've seen this a lot from TSS over the last few games.
Pretty direct ball from Jones. Now for Zohar. He'll try left-footed ball towards Smichenko. Grabbed by Colon there. Brave from the keeper. Long-time member of Trinity Western Spartans.
Excellent goalkeeper as well for the Spartans. 4 years under his belt at Trinity Western. 67 games played altogether. 17 clean sheets in those as well. I mean, we've watched him over the years calling the UBC games, and he's just such an excellent keeper and a great man to have between the sticks. 2 good keepers, actually, that Unity have, because David Hicks was the keeper that started the game against Altitude, and it's great to have that quality in between the sticks. TSS, of course, have it in Justin Sandu, but very young backups he's got, so TSS certainly rely a lot on the big SFU goalkeeper.
Mejia trying to turn the pace there and go out wide on Hodut, who read that play well. Shambusho flicks it on for Rossi, not fully away. It was Smichenko, so Shambusho collects. As Roxburgh fell to the ground, it's back for Segawa. Now for Sendu is the pacey Tommy Powell trying to get to that ball. His brother Francis not in the 11 today.
Yeah, Powell's always impressed me when I've seen him play. Had a couple of absolute cracking goals for Coquitlam, Mitroford Wolves in VMSL play after the college season.
Jones trying to switch there. It'll find Hodut. Watched by Polisi now in the midfield for Bona. Bona plays in his space there for Torreson, who's, you'll remember, brother Tristan as well played on the Spartans. He was a fantastic player. Was on Unity last year, but decided to have the summer off, as many players did.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember were they both on it last year, but I thought they were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dylan nods it down. And that quick ball through from Roxburgh for the speedy Shambusho. And that's what he can do there. We've talked about how he can just pounce all those through balls against Shambusho, and Sandu read it well.
We were just talking before the commentary started. One of the things I definitely noticed from watching Victory Shambusho last time out against Altitude is he seems to have trimmed down a little bit. Like, no way was he overweight, but he was quite muscular and bulky. He seems to definitely have trimmed down a little bit, maybe to add a bit of pace there. And you do feel that this is such a key season for a guy like Victory Shambusho. He was a player that I thought was a shoo-in to get on the Vancouver FC roster for their inaugural CPL season. A guy that is local, who's done it in Canada West, has shown that he can score, but there is those nagging doubts always about the injury side to him. So he needs to have a really strong League One season, one without injuries, get a few goals in there, and maybe Afshin Goatby will have a look at bringing him in, maybe towards the end of this season, maybe even next year. And of course, Vancouver FC do have that player development tie-in with Unity FC, so these games will be watched very much by all the coaching staff at VFC.
Last kick of the can, if you will, for Shambusho was his past university season with the Thunderbirds in that tough loss at the hands of TRU Wolfpack in a penalty shootout. But do you feel like Shambusho reached his climax with the Thunderbirds this past season, his opportunity to try and get something out of this summer with Unity. At least he lost it. Bad position, Shambusho trying to slide it through. Great recovery. Wow, good pace by Sigala, who's not trying to concede a corner and doesn't, as Dylan will come in to help out. Now Sigala.
Good clearance for TSS, but some good hustle there as well from Shambusho to keep that pressure on.
It's really filled in here for the second game.
Yeah,
wow.
It's been a very good turnout for this.
Rossi now through from Bona.
Wonder if there's many people come in to this and then make their way down to the Whitecaps game afterwards at BC Place. Feast of football in the Lower Mainland this Saturday. Mentioned it in the first game. I'm wearing my Dragon shirt for the commentary for this for Newport Corinthians, since the Whitecaps will be playing Seattle tonight, and I expect them to see them in their Bruce Lee Dragon shirt. I think this one's a nicer one.
Yeah, no comment.
Was getting nice praise as I came up the stair there from Nico's dad. He thought it was a Portuguese shirt I was wearing, but I explained it was Welsh fourth tier.
Did he lose interest right away?
Yeah, pretty much,
yeah. I figured.
Yeah, I think the listeners have as well. Let's just quickly move back on. But you're going back to Victor Shambusho. I mean, you look at his UBC record. It's absolutely incredible. 43 goals from 75 games played. And you consider the injuries that he had and the amount of time that he missed as well over the years. I mean, that's more than a 1-2 record. That's just a phenomenal strike rate.
What a supporting cast he had as well at UBC over his career one time or another.
Yeah, one of them, Nick Fussell, who's had a good start to the season for Unity. Not in the 18 today as it's picked off here by Unity.
That one found Shambusho in the box. He's lethal from there. One more pass for Rossi. And maybe a bit too unselfish for Shambusho.
Yeah.
You thought he might just take a shot there, but
it was a nice little touch inside, but Rossi just was not as close as I think Shambusho thought he was, or maybe Victory just didn't fully connect on that. But that was a dangerous chance for Unity, possibly the best that they've had so far.
You have to like the start here from the visitors as Jones with a tiny ball from Mahey is off to the races for TSS. Habibullah in space in the middle, trying to play it through for Mahea. Onside, Mahea attacking for TSS. Numbers to his right, including Edwardson, and he ran through the ball and away from Coline there. As fans just breathe in frustration after that one. A great run by Mahea.
Just a little bit overhit there by Mahea, who I thought was offside very narrowly as the ball was played through. Linesman maybe more in line than we are from behind it, but it certainly looked like he was maybe a step off. I kept looking over, waiting for the flag to go up.
Throwing here for Mihai Hodut.
Hodut, another one of those UBC players, and must be a bit weird for Mike Sheeran. He's battled against these UBC guys for so many years, and now he's got them under his wing with his Unity side here in League One.
Yeah, 3 players jumping ship from the Thunderbirds to Unity for the summer.
Mihai Hodut he didn't play the 2021 college season with the Thunderbirds, and then had an excellent League One campaign with Varsity last year, which then put him back in the UBC mix. And I thought he was fantastic for UBC last year. He's had a good winter season as well with BB5 United, the treble winners here in BC amateur soccer.
Not only that, but he went through a positional conversion as well from a right winger to a right back role.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see that, and he impressed me so much last summer playing for Varsity, and I think he was one of my standout guys really on the men's side as he plays the ball forward there, but not really to anyone in particular, and Sagala is going to play this back now to Justin Sandu.
17th minute, no score, but not for lack of entertainment so far. These two teams going toe-to-toe.
I mentioned TSS had to be patient before they got that first goal last week, and it came in the 27th minute then.
Jones, Mahea, a little step over, and Mihai Hodut's gotten the better of Mahea a couple of times in this game.
It's interesting because they are both teammates on BB5, so you kind of wonder if they maybe know each other's game, if Mihai's watched Ivan play for the VMSL champions and thought, oh yeah, I know how to defend against him.
Corner coming up here, the second for TSS. Polisi will take. Scored a very late goal last week against Harborside, but fully deserved it, by the way, after a stellar performance.
Got an assist last week as well on Eric Edwardson's hat-trick goal.
Polisi in swinger towards the front post. It's all the way through. And Smichenko would have had one if he could just sneak to that ball. But it goes all the way out the other side. And another corner coming up here for TSS, their third. As over to take Kyle Jones on his favorite left foot.
Sebastian Koline not happy at all. He was under a lot of attention there from Nico Papakyriakopoulos. And you see Nico again right in front of the Unity keeper here. Legally doing nothing wrong, but causing a problem there in the 6-yard box.
Jones, beautiful ball. Edwardson was there. Punched away by Koline. Now back here for Polisi. Fugo Sagawa trying to switch the play. Ali Zohar. Tidy stuff from TSS. Now Jones in the far touchline. Jones from a ways out finds Zohar. He's got that sweet right foot swinging ball towards Smichenko, and Koline had it the whole way. He's a very aggressive keeper. You've known him from his time from Trinity Western and Unity last year as well, as Dylan will deal with that header not fully. Now it's back for Jones.
TSS's shape all over the place there from that goal kick. Sagawa was on left back, centre back. Now he's back on the right side.
Jones was playing as a right winger there. Zohar centre back.
As they were just pushing forward. I do wonder if we might see maybe Eric Edwardson and Ivan Mejia switch as this half goes on, because
I do fancy the pace of Mejia over Torsen, who's much taller but doesn't have as much pace as Mejia does.
And Hodut won't really be familiar with going up against Eric Edwardson as much.
Yeah, Edwardson's more of a direct player than Mejia. Mejia tries to go wide sometimes and drop his head and take a run at a guy, but both very technically gifted players in their own right.
Because if I remember right, which this doesn't go for anything because my memory is short at times, I'm pretty sure Eric started on the left with Sagawa last week.
Yes.
Because I was talking about their good link-up play that they used to usually have on the right side. So, I mean, that could be a switch. We do see Eric come over here. He certainly thrived on the left wing, but we'll see how this half goes on.
TSS have some weapons off the bench to deal with today, to the names of Connor McMillan, Gabe Escobar, Taylor Richardson. So we'll see those players for sure, but how they factor and how this game goes, we'll have to see. 20th minute. Still goose eggs on the scoreboard here.
Unity only managed 3 wins in their inaugural League One season.
That was a tough year last year.
Yeah, it took them 6 games to get that first win as well.
So in their first game here is a heavy back pass for Koline and away. Only as far as Zohar nods it wide for Mejia. Saw them against the Rovers in their first ever game as a 2-2 draw after Sijit Vakaj hit a perfect free kick, opened the score, and you thought it might be good for Unity, but lacked staying fit as the flag goes up on Masood Habibullah.
That one a very clear offside. A couple of yards off there from the big striker.
His brother Cam, I assume we'll see tomorrow here at Swangard against for WFC2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out to that one. 2 Cascadian derbies in 2 days. That's going to be fantastic stuff.
Michael clocking in the air miles this weekend, or the car miles, if you will.
The altitude game tomorrow is the featured game on League One BC and on TELUS. On TELUS Optics local channel as well. That gives me the day off from doing the altitude game. So
you're going to watch a game to not have a day off?
Well, I might head out to watch the altitude men's game and then head up to here. I'll see how the traffic goes. I might just end up watching that at home and then head up to here. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff at Swangard.
Here's Matteo Polisi finding Nico Papakyriakopoulos. Trying to shape one through for Edwardson. Not a bad idea. Edwardson gets onto the end of it. Saved by Koline. What a ball by Papake across.
Oh, I don't think Edwardson fully connected properly with that, but that was dangerous from the Unity keeper. He just left it And as Papa K sent that one in, you were thinking, oh, I'm not sure about that. And then it just ran all the way through to Edwardson, and kind of feel he should have done a little bit better with that. Couple of scary moments in the opening going here for Sebastian Coline.
Edwardson, a heavy touch, a rare one at that. Roxburgh, too heavy for Bona. Now Jones with a sleuthing ball
I was
through.
going to say, what beautiful. Yeah. If that had stayed in, that was
first time outside of the foot.
Wonderful pass there from Kyle Jones.
A 30-yard ball from Jones. Used to seeing that in his time with Calgary Foothills, SFU as well. The Rovers last year, this year.
We regularly talk in these broadcasts as well about just how much we love that midfield pairing. Kyle Jones, Ali Zohar, just they are phenomenal. They're the heartbeat, they're the spine of this midfield and this attack and defensive play at times as well for TSS.
Hodut now channels it back there, and Banovic will clear for Shambusho. Didn't have the height on Smichenko, but has the tenacity. Up there, second time was Dylan, fouled was Smichenko.
There was at least one foul in those tackles from Shambusho. So
the third one that
gets
called.
I just kept waiting. He's just flying into the guys. Wonder if he's getting a little bit frustrated out there because he hasn't seen a lot of the ball in the last few minutes. TSS have turned it up a notch, and here they go again trying to pounce on a turnover.
Torsen off the boot of Edwardson to the far side.
Rovers know another win today will put them right in the hunt for finishing top of the table in the regular season standings. Have to give a huge credit to Steve Simonson and his Highlanders team who are leading the way right now.
Rossi, nice touch. Back to the middle, Shambusho, top of the 18. Well defended by Zohar. Couldn't get a shot off there, Shambusho, and that's a danger area for him. Now Shambusho running forward. Smichenko came in flying and won the ball. And he'll play it out of the reach of Hodut on the near side. Throwing for Hodut. Rossi now for Mihai Hodut. Mejia did well to win it, but it's back here for Rossi. I see done by Marcel Bona. Zohar got a foot in. It's back there for Powell. It's blocked by Smichenko. That's some power to it. Maybe not the height that he wanted, Powell. Good first time strike.
Not sure Smichenko knew too much about that in the end, but vital foot in the end because that looked like that was heading straight towards Sandu.
Here's Powell, got it down the line. Jones onto it for Sandu. And Fuko Sagawa.
Been an entertaining first 25 minutes here at Swangard. Hope you are enjoying this wherever you're watching it around the world. If you're watching from any far-flung places, let us know in the YouTube chat. Been very quiet in the YouTube chat for the two games today. Maybe everyone's going to be watching these on demand. They're out enjoying the Saturday afternoon sun.
Michael's taking a day off from his burner account to comment on the YouTube chat.
I need to bring a computer so I can start talking to myself.
Banovic now attacking with the Raul Jimenez look with the headband there for protection against concussions. Great ball from Roxburgh, low on the deck perfectly for Torsen. Attacking Sagawa is big Brandon Torsen, and Sagawa read that one perfectly.
Or not as perfectly. He seems to have run that out. That was a tight decision. It's going to be a corner now on the far side for Unity. 27 minutes gone. TSS, best chances so far. Unity have been very dangerous, but just lacking it in this final third so far. There's a lot of attention on the goal line here.
Tommy Powell, great ball into the back post. Falling down was Rossi, but no call there. Not even a look from the referee, Rodrigo Zdansky. Joined by Ian Adams, Olin Metz as the assistant referees, and Vincent Morelli, the fourth official, who's a referee the first game. Sendu for Dylan. Now Fugo Sagawa attacking for the Rovers here. Finds Edwardson. It's been quiet. He's had a couple of good flashes, as Eric Edwardson, but just trying to stay on the ball here for TSS is the problem right now. Is Unity, when they hold the ball, they do create some difficult opportunities for the TSS back line to handle. Sebastian Colline will collect it here for Unity on the goal kick. Obviously the namesake, his brother Simon, a former Whitecaps player, now overseas.
Doing really well over in Holland as well. Been keeping a close eye on him.
One of a few players that have come through the pipeline that have gone to pastures new. As the pitch got pretty tore up there, as falling was Bona. And there's quite a bit of
I see
surface.
it. I didn't initially see it because I had a kind of barrier in the way, but as I moved, I see it now. It's from just being down there between the games, it feels that it's a slightly better pitch than it has been. Maybe the grass is now starting to fully grow in a little bit, but it's definitely been very bumpy and not the usual Swangard quality to start the season. Can obviously be advantageous when you're a team playing like against Valor.
Bona out wide for Hodut, trying to clip it back across off the boot of Mejia towards Sandu.
As a dangerous one there, because that deflection really could have taken that anywhere. In the end, it's straight into the arms of Sandu, who doesn't fully connect to get that one up.
Neither does Zohar. It's been a game that kind of missed clearances so far. Zohar now not at wide. Edwardson off the attack come TSS. Even numbers, but Habibullah making a great one. He gets the ball. Masoud Habibullah for TSS. Stopped by Colon. Play still live. Yelling for this. Mejia, he'll get the ball. Ivan Mejia scores for the Rovers. Ivan Mejia. And he celebrates and remembers Trina O'Hay in a great moment for TSS here in the 30th minute. Mejia nods it home.
Lovely moment there by TSS, or honouring Trina O'Hay, who's in all our thoughts this afternoon, and a great finish there from Ivan Mejia. Lovely through ball to Masoud Habibullah, who tried to round Sebastian Colline, thought he'd got the better of it, but full credit to the Unity keeper. Huge save. The rebound fell to Habibullah, who unselfishly looked up, saw Ivan Mejia coming in at the back post, perfectly lofted ball onto the head off the dancing Colombian, and it is back in the back of the net, and TSS Rovers have the lead and the Swangardians have the smoke out.
That was quite the ball from Masoud Habibullah. You don't often see a striker with the ability to deliver a ball like that. A peach of a ball back post for Ivan Mejia, who nods it home and gives the Rovers the lead while paying tribute as well to a teammate's fallen mother as well. So just a great moment there for Ivan Mejia. Named to BC League One Team of the Week this week, and it continues the strong play going, and that's a good lead here for the Rovers on 31 minutes.
First goal of this season for Ivan Mejia, to go with the one assist that he's already got this year. First assist of the year for Masoud Habibullah.
First point as well as a Rover, and I think it was a long time coming for him. New system he's had to get acquainted to this year. Edwardson nips out that back pass. He's got Polisi running forward. He's got Mejia to his left. Mejia attacking for TSS. Keeps it going. Mejia does a double. It's a beauty from Mejia. It's a 2-0 Rovers lead in the 32nd. And that's picture-perfect football with the home side.
Oh, wonderful stuff from TSS. 2 goals in about 90 seconds there for Ivan Mejia. And it was a nice little ball inside from Eric Edwardson that set him up. Unity getting torn apart now, and we're seeing this free-flowing football that we know the Rovers can do. Clearly in the ascendancy now, and you kind of feel this could be another big win coming up here for TSS.
For the second straight week, we have a Rovers player on a double, as Ivan Mejia with a perfect ball, perfect strike. Beats Colline to his right. And it's a double for the returnee from last year. Had a goal against Valor, was quiet against Pacific, subbed off midway through the second half, but he's back on the score sheet once again after his influential last week. Didn't score against Harborside, but did a lot of other things right. And he's now got a double in 2 minutes. And the Rovers lead by a pair.
Interestingly as well, Mejia only got 1 goal last year for TSS, so he's already doubled his tally from last year, and they're only in game 4. And like watching Ivan Mejia's growth over the last couple of years has been phenomenal. Saw him coming through the Whitecap system, went into the college route. He's a guy that we think should be playing in CPL, and I know that there's a lot of scouts watching him. There's been some interest, there's been some trials. His performances against Valor and Pacific have certainly brought some interest for him, and his start to the season here in League One will just be bringing some more. And fantastic to see another guy that's coming off a treble winning season as well with BB5 United. You'll love to see it.
Confidence oozing out of Edwardson right now, out of Mejia. 5 goals combined between those two wingers in the last game and a half for TSS. And
first assist of the season. I think it was Edwardson that set Mejia up. It
yes,
all was
it
in
was.
A flash there, but
Yep.
yeah, so that's the first of the season
and
as
it was
well for
a poor
Eric.
turnover by Unity right in front of their own
Yeah.
box. You can't be doing that. And against a team as potent as TSS, really any team in this league with players like the front four TSS have. But I thought Polisi would have been screaming at Edwardson for the ball, which he probably was. But Mejia just had a little bit more space. It would have been a more difficult ball for Edwardson to try and thread it through on his outside of his foot.
I think the worrying thing now, though, for Unity is that second goal gives a bit of breathing space for TSS to relax, and we know that when they relax, the free-flowing football comes. There's a great battle there between Shmichenko and Chambushel going the way of the Unity man. That's a good matchup between those two. I look forward to seeing this tussle for the next hour or so. Former teammates at BB5 last season. Victory not playing with the Surrey side this year. Missing out on his 3 medals in the process. Sure Ted would want me to mention that.
Free kick here for Tommy Powell. 2-man wall for TSS.
Can smell the Swangardian smoke now.
Yeah.
It's made its way up here to the commentary booth.
Well, at least we can see the play. Sometimes we can't because there's so much smoke, so it kind of cleared quickly. 35th free kick for Powell. Unity trying to turn the game on its head here with one quick swing of the boot. That one played in perfectly by post. Falls for Shabusho. It's still there! Oof. And sweeped over. Just barely, though, by Panovich, the big centre back.
Lovely ball in from Tommy Powell as well. There's a sweet delivery from him. Just bouncing about. Didn't fall kindly for Unity in the end. And TSS Rovers breathe a sigh of relief. Unity have to get the next goal here, you feel. Much like the reverse situation in the women's game, where it was Unity that went out to a 2-goal lead. Another goal here for TSS, and you kind of feel it's already lights out for Unity.
And they don't even have McMillan or Escobar on the pitch either, so embarrassment of riches today for Darren Rusher, which we knew would happen at some point with a full squad. That one's played out by Banovich, and a throw in here for TSS.
I've liked what I've seen from Darren in the way that he sets his team up and how they've got them playing. He's got them playing in a lovely style. You just, when you go along to training, the confidence is there for every single player on the squad, whether they're one of the fringe guys that maybe just come on as subs, whether it's one of the young guys that haven't even had their opportunity yet. And as we often talk about the teams that you saw for TSS against Valor, against Pacific, you're not often going to see that team on the pitch. You're definitely not going to see that team on the pitch to start because of the under-23 player rule. So it just shows you how much depth is in this Rovers side. As selfishly, I want them to top the regular season standings again. I want another Canadian Championship run. Got to keep my job.
It was like bring your kid to work day. You had 2 days on the job, and then that was kind of it for a little bit.
I'd say 4 days. 2 days for each game.
Right, 2 days of travel to Pacific. Okay. You got your own email and everything now.
I know, it's fantastic.
Bona, watched by Edwardson, got by him well. trying to play it through for the long bursting run of Tommy Powell. And Sandu, who hasn't been really busy for the Rovers, will find Dillon, who in turn sends it to Smichenko.
The other thing that always should be noted, of course, though, for TSS is these players want to make the next jump and they want to stand out, and it's performances like this that will see them make that next step.
Habibulah's got confidence, maybe a bit too much there.
Yeah. We both thought the same thing.
Oh, man. We've seen him try that before. And
I've seen him score some wonder goals before.
His brother Cameron slipped in a few moments ago to catch him here at the pitch. We'll be playing tomorrow. Whitecaps player, obviously.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic season for the Twos. I think 3 goals on the year.
You wonder when his call-up, or I guess his opportunity to play with the Whitecaps will ever come with the Dahomey trade. Here's Mejia. From distance, trying to sneak his way through. Not this time. Bona denied him. And now it's Rossi.
Yeah, I'd say this is a big season in different leagues and for different reasons for both the Habibullah brothers. Yep. A bit heavy touch there, and you see like head and hands there from Kieran Eve. He knew that he had to do better with that. They're not cutting happy figures out there just now, the Unity players.
No, winless to start the season. 2 draws for Unity, though.
What works in their favour, though, is they have got those points on the board away from home, and it's a very, very log jam of a table.
What a play by Shambusho, saved by Sandu, spilled and clear by Smichenko. What a move by Shambusho. That's what we're used to seeing as Habibullah tries to win one in midfield.
Yeah, he didn't give up on that at all. Sandu couldn't keep hold of it, and it's just a very important foot in that from Smichenko to take it off the foot of Rossi. He was waiting to pounce.
Shambusho clips it across for Rossi. Drops down. Thomas Powell thought about shaping up for one. Nice move to his left foot. Thomas Powell pushed aside by Sandu. Nice move in the 40th. Still 2-0 though.
Great movement there from Powell to get that shot off, but Sandu more than a match for the big keeper, getting down well to turn that just past the post. You've got to say that was another close call. Unity in their best spell of pressure now in the game. Can they turn this pressure into a crucial goal though to get themselves back into it?
Big Brandon Torreson on the free kick. Away by by Zohar. And that one struck Mejia. Picked up well by Torreson, who's got that sweet left-footed delivery. Great tackle by Zohar. TSS have numbers. I thought it might have been offside for Edwardson. Flag stays down. He's got Habibullah to his right. Edwardson will go all the way himself and puts it wide. It was off the leg of Colline. He can't believe it.
Brilliant save from Colline there.
You thought he ran maybe a bit too close into Colline. Either way, it's well saved.
I think that was offside. I've got to say, I'd like to see
100%.
that one back. It definitely looked that he was off there, but he wouldn't have cared. He would have put that in. And I thought he'd put it under Colline. But again, that's about the 3rd or 4th huge stop from Colline that's kept his side in this one, because TSS could be out of sight by now if it wasn't for the big keeper.
Speaking of Everton, released another great documentary this week, or behind the scenes about the Pacific game, to make sure to check out that on his YouTube channel. As Jones will deliver this one in sweetly back post. Up there was Habibullah. He seems on for it today. Zohar now. There's Mejia for Dillon. Sagawa playing for Jones, who is wide open. What a move on Powell. Finding Polisi. This is very good from TSS. Polisi Jones! Oh, what an effort that would have been. Beautiful interplay by TSS, just pushed over the bar by Jones. Beautiful stuff.
If there's a player I want to see get on the score sheet in the next couple of games, it's Kyle Jones. His play is fantastic, but what link-up play there between the two. They've just got this understanding, this team. They've been together since the end of March, really, these guys playing together, training 4 days a week. And they seem to know just where everyone's run's going to be, and that would have been one of the goals of the season if that had blasted in the back of the net. Might have taken the back of the net off, I think. Kyle Jones only got 1 goal last year.
I think it was a penalty, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I'll just jog my memory here. Hard to know as that one slipped through for Rossi. I think it was at home.
Don't have it down as a penalty, but that doesn't. It was against the Highlanders.
Habibullah now down for Mejia. I don't know if he's trying to catch the keeper off the line there. Maybe a bit too confident was Mejia then.
Maybe they're just getting a little bit carried away with how well that they're playing out there just now. Rein it in a little bit.
Unity has done well playing from behind in Canada West under Mike Sheeran. They're not a team that gives up, but certainly you can't defend this Rovers attack right now if you're any team in this league, given the confidence they have.
It's an interesting roster, though, that Mike Sheeran has put together, and they do have the tie-up with Vancouver FC. 3 players from the Vancouver FC system in and around the squad for today and for future games. They've got 12 under-23 players, 4 under-19, and that's not including the VFC guys, and 12 Trinity Western guys that had their rookie seasons in 2022.
Great ball from Papakrikopoulos to Sagawa, watched closely by Thomas Powell's done a lot of running here for Unity. Sagawa elusive, trying to find Edwardson. Edwardson takes him on the outside, cuts it back, and struck his man Hejeki, who thumps it towards half. There's Shambusho knocked down by Zohar for Smichenko here in the 44th.
There was a lot of debate with TSS around the Canadian Championship games and in some of the Canadian soccer forums that I'm part of and message boards and Discord channels about could this team, as they are just now, go in the CPL and thrive. And speaking even to Will Cromack and Darren about it, it's hard to replicate it for a full 28 game season, but you feel they'd be competitive, and the more that they play together and the fact that they could have the older guys all in the pitch more often, it would be an interesting one to see. Have to raise more from the share issue to get that money to afford that expansion fee to get another team here in the CPL. We'd love to see that, of course. Swangard Stadium just made as a venue for the CPL. So many happy Canadian soccer memories have taken place at this stadium.
Remember the game that really got me involved in soccer was the 2007 U19 or U20 World Cup?
Oh, the U20. I had tickets for that, and I delayed my moving over so I could watch East Fife win a championship.
Oh, okay.
And then I gave up seeing all the games here at Swangard in the Under-20 World Cup. I kind of regret it. But that was an amazing atmosphere.
Uruguay, I think I saw, and I think I saw Argentina as well, or Spain, one of the two. So they had the pool here at Burnaby. Again, this was 15 years ago, so...
Yeah, some great players had come through that. We've seen some great players on this pitch. Canada, of course, playing their World Cup qualifiers here over the years. Whitecaps used to play here in the USL days before they were in MLS. Now it's the home to TSS Rovers, championship winning TSS Rovers, history making TSS Rovers, and they want to write their name in the history books even more this season.
Polisi, Jones, Habibullah, and now Ali Zohar for the Rovers. Half-time, only 1 minute added on, but what a half it was for TSS. As Ivan Mejia with a double in 3 minutes in the 30th and 32nd gives the Rovers the lead. What a first half it was for the home side.
This has been an absolutely fantastic performance by TSS, building on what we saw last week against Harbourside, and they need to keep it going. They can't afford to take the foot off the gas, because this is a dangerous Unity side. There's goals on this Unity side as well. Next one could be key in this. You don't want to go anywhere. You want to be back in 15 minutes to see what happens next.
2-0 Rovers lead Unity at the half here at halftime on YouTube. Welcome back to Swangard Stadium for the second half between TSS and Unity FC. The Rovers ahead after a double in 3 minutes by Ivan Mejia, who's absolutely flying at the moment for TSS. And Unity not sure what hit them after that. It was a pretty even game through 30. Unity had some chances, then Mejia banged a couple of goals in. 2 class goals as well from the returnee from last year. And what an addition he's been to this Rovers team. Was with the UFV Cascades in the fall for one season of U Sports Canada West Soccer, and now back with the Rovers, and gets his name on the score sheet the first time this season. That one cut in by Rossi and blocked by Papakrikopoulos. The corner here for Unity in the first 30 seconds of the half.
Yeah, Unity really have to come out on the front foot here for this second half. If they can get the next goal, it's very much game on. They've got the players that can do it. And as you said, it was a fairly even first 30 minutes. TSS definitely shaded it and were getting stronger and stronger. But Unity did have their chances. The Sandu, a lot of traffic there.
Torsen left with a ball flicked on by Bona and a foul. And I thought that might be given because Bona pushed off his man before the header there in the 47th.
That's what Mike Sheeran will want to see from his side to start this second half. Thank you for being with us. If you're watching this live on YouTube, get in touch with the YouTube chat or on Twitter at AFTN Canada. Always love to hear where you're watching this from. Jennifer Adams says, Go Rovers, watching from Richmond. Ron Poulter watching this as well.
One sub of the half for TSS, Fugo Sagawa off. Nicholas Barrett on for TSS.
Really like the addition of Barrett to this defensive side for TSS. He was so good in those 2 Canadian Championship games.
He slotted in just fine as well. I never know with a first-year player in this league level.
But he's got that quality from coming through youth in Germany. You can see the technical training that he's had. There's a lot of players that have spent any time over in Europe or have actually moved over from Europe. They do have that slight technical edge that players here maybe don't always have. Certainly getting a lot better over here, but there is something about that German technical ability.
Corner kick for Unity. They're second in the first 3 minutes of the half. It's a good one to the back post, just over the head there. I believe that's Lennon Thompson who's come on as a sub here for Unity FC.
He's been a very interesting addition to this Unity side and also to Vancouver FC, one of the developmental players. Played last season in League One with the Whitecaps under-19s. Didn't get a ton of time, but definitely a top prospect.
He was on the Rovers roster as well last year. Didn't play for Will Cromack's side.
Was it the Rovers? I could have sworn he had come through the Whitecaps.
He was on the Rovers roster last year, but might have come through the Whitecaps before that. As Shambusho to the 18 and the 6 and away by Barrett. Free kick just inside the half of Sandu.
One of the handful of local players that Vancouver FC have picked up with an eye to the future. Lennon Thompson.
Jordan Lowe also onto the pitch for Unity. Also have the big forward Keyshawn Francois. I've really liked watching the last couple of seasons. Big striker.
He played the first half against Altitude as well, and I thought was excellent. Really gave him a torrid time out there.
Polisi nudged off the ball rather easily by Shambusho, trying to find a man in low. And Thompson out to the wide area. Chased down by Mejia. Collected by Hodut. They'll step over. Trying to cut it back in. It's past Sandu. To the near side for Tyler Dillon. Now Thomas Powell. Nice little change of pace. Powell nutmegs Dillon. Keeps going. Thomas Powell whips it in. Might drop down for Marcel Bona. Blocked in front by Smichenko and had to make that block here in the 50th minute.
Another huge block there from the Ukrainian centre-back to turn that one away. That was more like it from Unity, and certainly what Mike Sheeran's going to want to see from his side in this second half. They've definitely come out in the front foot, and what lovely play that was by Tommy Powell as well to get that chance going.
He is a tricky wide player, that's for sure. Brandon Torreson plays it in. Nudge back to the near side for Big Lennon Thompson. Way by Polisi, Habibullah, Mejia in space. He finds him. Jones as well on a breakaway if he gets the ball, but he's well offside. So Mejia will collect and try and fire it across. Not much on for him. He'll find Papakrikopoulos, who will put Habibullah into play there. Habibullah is speedy forward attacking that left side. Fairly winning the ball there was low, but Habibullah couldn't believe it. Now played towards Lennon Thompson.
AFTN photographer Tommy Wozniak on the far side, getting really close to the action. He seems to be right on the sideline there. He's going to regret that, I'm sure, at some point in this half.
Especially if big Brandon Torreson is barreling down that right side.
Him and Habibullah are just like battling it out right in front of him. You'll get some good photos before his camera breaks.
I don't think insurance is covering the AFTN budget, if I'm not mistaken, so it might be...
very little is apart from chocolate digestives, to be honest.
Throwing here for Hodut in the 52nd, who's had to deal with Mejia, and I've, to be fair, got the better of him numerous times before the two Mejia goals, and Hodut got burned on those two, but otherwise it's been really good defending Mejia this match so far, as that one's going to be offside. Looking for Jordan Lowe.
TSS not really getting much of a chance so far in this second half to get much going on the offensive side, but they have got the 2 goals to the good. No big need to rush things from them. Talked about the patience game that they played to get the breakthrough against Harbourside, and the goals came pretty much the same today. 27 minutes it took to break down Harbourside resilience. 30 minutes today. I've got to say though, from these first 4 games, Unity is the first team that's kind of come here and really kind of played a bit more attack minded. The other 3 games so far I've seen teams really want to play in the counter and get lots of men back behind the ball. So full credit to Mike Sheehan for his side coming out and making this an end-to-end game. Did
shoot them in the foot though, conceding those 2 goals on the counter. Here's Zohar through from Mejia. Zohar back for Edwardson, who's shaping up for him. Now Papakrikopoulos has a go. Well wide of the goal. Rovers putting up no goals in the first 2 games at home, and then getting 6 in the last game and a half here. So you wonder if maybe Darren Rusher wanted the goals to be a little bit more spread out through the first 4 games, but
I'm sure he would have definitely taken that.
Yeah. You won't mind the game so far. Mejia, great ball. Polisi, Habibullah offside. What little 1-2 again there between Polisi, class.
Even at this early stage of the season, you start to look back at that second game against the Highlanders, the late winner that Victoria got, the fact that Victoria's now sitting at the top of the standings. How crucial is that game going to be, and how crucial is the second meeting going to be between these 2 teams? TSS finished the season over on the island, and their last game is against the Highlanders, and that could really be shaping up as possibly a Canadian Championship clinching match. Definitely have to make sure we get over for that one. Might find a space in my car for you for that one.
Oh, good. That'd be stellar. Just looking at the Highlanders, how they've won the games, winning against Harbourside, and the Rovers 1-0. So they don't score a bunch. And when they do, they seem to win games. Or is that one clipped towards Shambusho? But Steve Simonson, obviously a coach that doesn't have coach teams that score a lot of goals, but he's built that team the right way.
Yeah, very good defensive play from the Highlanders. The thing is as well, last year, the Highlanders did not win 1 game away from home. Now they've got 2 wins on the board from their road matches to start off the campaign. So things certainly going very well for Victoria. Can't write the other teams off yet though, it's still very early. The Whitecaps are very up and down as they were last year as well. They can turn in some fantastic performances and then really kind of stink the place out in their off days.
Quite a bit of returnees as well, obviously, for Rich Fakin's side, including some guys who played in college and now can come back, like Jaden Velios, Ben Alexander in the squad this year as well, former Whitecaps 2 keeper. Talk about guys moving up. Gurman Sanga was on the squad last year, just made a sub-appearance for Charlotte's MLS Next Pro team.
Yeah, delighted for Gurman. I've known him for a number of years now, coming through the Whitecaps Academy, so very pleased. Thought he may have got a look with the twos this season, but not to be.
Habibullah Mejia making a lovely run. Great ball from Habibullah for Zohar. Seems to find himself in any position. His attempted cross was blocked there. Tom tries to swipe at the ball with his camera pod and then takes a swig at something I'm assuming is water or Gatorade, one of the two.
Yeah, let's just hope so. Don't want blurry pictures coming back when he sends them along to me tonight. They looked in focus to me, he said.
He's a man of many talents. He's did 3 games in one day a couple of weeks ago at a Vancouver FC game the day before, and then
I think actually the last 2 weekends he's done that for us, so I want to give him full credit. His photos that you see on all the TSS Rovers advertising and stuff. AFTN proud partners of TSS Rovers since the team formed in the adult ranks in 2017. What a journey it's been.
Sandu with a free kick here in the 57th as the play to start the half for the first couple of minutes was quality, and it's kind of dropped down here.
It's really this is much like the women's game though as well in the second half, and the heat is going to play into it. I mean, it is warm out there. Anything above 17, 18 for me, I would be like dying down there.
Hey, you're just a snowbird, so that's okay. Spichenko.
You can hear this one, Guardians drum, I'm sure. Trying to spur their team forward, trying to find this attacking spark that we saw in that crazy 2-minute burst just past the half-hour mark.
Sandu for Dylan. What a lovely delivery from the Rovers keeper. Now Kyle Jones leads it through for Mejia. Perfect ball. Onside as well. Perfect run. Habibullah to his left. Mejia finds Edwardson on the half turn and lost to Torreson. Now Edwardson again. After Jones fell in a collision there. Tyler Dillon.
Jones just doing enough though to win that back and break things up. Edwardson just being a little bit too fancy in the box there, but Mejia, you know he wants to get a hat-trick so badly in this one.
He's also switched to the right wing to play with Dillon. Some chemistry there, obviously.
As soon as you say that, he moves back. I'm not sure where he's going, he's still running, but he's at least in the middle.
He played in the pocket last week, actually, as an attacking mid late on against Harborside. I really liked where he was in that game. When Polisi kind of dropped back in the second half.
He's one of those players, like the old Swiss Army knife phrase, it's like he can do so much, and the fact that CPL sides haven't come in for the likes of him, the likes of Matteo Polisi, I mean, we may see some moves in the summer which would certainly hit TSS hard if there's any teams come in for these guys, but the more that they start playing like this and the more that wins that they rack up, there is going to be more interest in all of these guys. That is why they're here. This is why they are playing League One.
Just out of the reach there of Habibullah. As Gabe Escobar preparing to come into the game here, looks like for TSS doing some final warm-ups. Connor McMillan as well at some point, I'm sure.
Gabe Escobar, another player looking to get back into the pro ranks.
What a tough outing for him against Pacific. It feels so bad for him.
It was so tough. Went right over to him at the end of the game just to kind of pick him up. And, yeah, I mean, what do you say to a guy that has been adjudged to give away a penalty where the player then admits that he just went down very easily for it? But that's going to light a fire under him. He wants to get back to the pros. Was with Halifax last year, only made 5 appearances, but looked good in those appearances, and you thought he was going to hang around there. We've talked about Patrice Geyser coming in and bringing his own players with him.
Player resumes, no foul there. Referee thought he had the whistle, the mouth didn't blow.
That was a fair challenge from Danilo, who's powering forward now.
Wide for Edwardson in space. Edwardson back across Masoud Habibullah. His first in Rovers colors. What a run by Smichenko. It ends up in the back of the net. 60th minute, Rovers lead 3-0.
A great counter-attacking play from the Rovers, catching Unity out there. What a ball, right across into the path of Habibullah. He still had work to do. He's got a goal and assist now this afternoon, has Masoud Habibullah. And as you said, getting his first in TSS Rovers colours. And he went on a streak and a tear last year when he got his first goal for Altitude. Are we going to see more from the big striker? That is what he's been wanting. That is what he's been needing. And it's 3-0 TSS.
That was oh so unselfish from Eric Edwardson. I thought he might pick his head up and just have a strike, but perfectly lays it across there for Habibullah.
That's that experience again coming in for Edwardson. His second assist today. None on the season going into this. So in the last 2 weeks, he's got 3 goals and 2 assists, Eric Edwardson. So fantastic stuff from him. 4th goal scorer now this season for TSS Rovers.
Who do you bring off now for Escobar and McMillan? This team is just thriving at all cylinders at the moment.
I mean, none of these players are going to want to come off. Mahé is going to want his hat-trick. Masoud's going to want to follow up on that goal that he's just got. Matteo Polisi never wants to come off. He wants to play the 90 minutes every single game.
What a touch just then by Matteo, and Jones avoids damage, and Jones ahead for Edwardson in a foot race here. Banovic going to win it. Here's Polisi. Kyle Jones, a jersey tug by Torreson, and Jones unhappy with something there, stares him down.
I mean, interestingly, when I mentioned about the Altitude Unity game last time out being physical, it was Brandon Torreson that was being the really physical guy. What did I miss there? Oh, a height thing from Brandon Torreson. I'm sure Kyle's just holding up the 3 fingers, letting him know what the score is. The last game against Altitude, Brandon Torreson should have got sent off because he threw Declan Freeman to the ground by his neck and didn't even get a booking for it. So he brings that physicality to this Unity team. I'm sure someone will take care of him shortly. This is why I don't coach. Or play. Or allowed anywhere near the players.
Now without allow within 30 feet of the pitch. Smichenko trying to play it for Habibullah. Now Lennon Thompson in midfield. Bono now finding Brandon Torreson. Down the line, trying to find Jordan Lowe. Well, now a TW Spartan clips it back perfectly for Tommy Powell. He can shoot from there, he will. What a block by Zohar here in the 63rd. Dylan back up in the air. Powell. Watched by Zohar. Tommy Powell. But it been a harsh penalty there if that one was blown down as Jones' clearance struck a Unity player.
I'd like to see that again, though, because there was certainly arms on
contact
Powell there.
A little bit.
I mean, that 3rd goal from TSS pretty much killed the game off, you feel, for the Rovers. And it's a bit tough as well on Unity, who'd started this half really strong. TSS weren't in this much as an attacking threat, but this just shows how dangerous they can be. They got their early lead, they can sit back, soak up the pressure a little bit, and then just hit on a beautiful counter-attack move.
In MLS action today, speaking of guys moving on to the next level, Joe Waterman opened his MLS account today, goal-scoring-wise, against New York in Red Bull Arena, New Jersey.
Former TSS Rover.
Yep. Actually played for the Spartans and then played with the Rovers in his off-season. And what a rise from Cavalry to Montreal, and I think he's going to be there for a long time, if not going overseas, hopefully.
Part of the World Cup squad as well. Didn't see any action, sadly. I had 2 hopes in that last Canada game. I wanted to see David Witherspoon and Joe Waterman get minutes. Witherspoon did as Habibullah lines up for a shot. Doesn't miss by much. You see Habibullah, he's a confidence player, and when he gets that goal, he goes on a tear. Took a little deflection on the way through, though, by the looks of it, Gideon.
Yeah, I thought the left hand there of Colline had pushed it wide, and sure enough, it did. In the 65th. Talking to Joel Otterman's dad after that tournament, he said, well, was he disappointed he didn't get any minutes? He said, no, just being there in that surrounding.
What an experience.
Just incredible for a young kid from Langley.
You see how far he's come playing at this level with the Foothills, with TSS.
Jones now for Zohar. Back post for Smichenko, climbing above the rest. And just in behind Koline there as he's claiming for a push from the back, but Smichenko runs away.
I think Smichenko's had an absolutely terrific game today. He's
two games, really, against the Harborside as well.
He's had a couple of huge blocks. He's a beast back there, and he's a very dangerous player in the opposition box.
Dangerous from Koline.
Talking to dangerous.
That's Justin Sandu music right there. The way, a couple of things he did against Pacific scared me a little bit. But it pulled off. Jones now for Habibullah. What a ball! 4-0 Rovers! Class from Kyle Jones. It's a daily double for Masood Habibullah. It's 2-0 Rovers in the 66th.
Clickety click, and it's certainly clicking for Masood Habibullah. We said he went on a tear with altitude when he got his first goal. 2 in the space of 6 minutes now for TSS. What a ball in from Kyle Jones.
He's motivated.
Maybe got a little bit of a deflection on the way through, but fantastic stuff from Kyle. He's really up for it. His first assist of the season. Masood Habibullah's second of the season. With 2 players on hat-tricks now. This is fantastic stuff by TSS. 2 games in a row. They've racked up 4, and you feel there's more to come. That was a beautiful finish from Habibullah.
Yes, it was tidy as Kyle Jones. I mean, after that little battle with Torreson, he's kind of ran around like a man on a mission here as the Rovers make a double sub. It will be Gabe Escobar coming in and Connor McMillan.
Oh, I should have watched to see if Kyle went up to Torreson as he did that.
I don't think so, but he got a big hug from his teammates.
See, he's a much nicer person than me. I would have been straight in Torreson's face after that.
So, Gabe and Connor in. Nico and Ali off for the Rovers.
Yeah, we were wondering what the changes were going to be. I'm not sure I would have guessed those two. Nico for Gabe, yeah, like Gabo.
Like for like.
Kind of slots in there, but that's going to be interesting. C-Mac for Ali Zohar. Guess they maybe don't necessarily need a holding midfielder as much anymore, because like if Unity decide that they want to just try and go for it now, they're going to leave so much rooms that you kind of feel they're maybe going to shut up shop a little bit, because goal difference could be crucial for these playoff positions come the end of the year.
Smichenko won it back over Shambusho.
Thought he'd overdone it there, but again, great stuff from the Ukrainian.
Dylan Edwardson, Habibullah Edwardson, perfect for Dylan. Mejia running through, trying to find him as Dylan way out of his net is Koline, and had to read that. You saw coming the whole way. As it's right to Powell, good clearance.
This is fantastic stuff by TSS.
Jordan Lowe. Finding Rossi, who's been very quiet. Here in the 69th, feeding it through for Shambusho. There's Barrett for Escobar. Rovers just releasing the pressure easily here. Escobar for Polisi, and now Gabe Escobar. Mejia back for Polisi for Mejia. Now Jones. This is pretty stuff from TSS. There's Escobar. Running ragged there was McMillan. Polisi to his left. McMillan keeps it going, finds Escobar. And now back for McMillan as the Rovers just set up shop here.
I think Mike Sheeran's very aware his team are getting run ragged. A triple substitution about to come up for Unity.
Polisi. Mejia for McMillan. And now Mateo Polisi out wide for McMillan. Back for Polisi. Back for McMillan. Into the 18. What can you do but just
it's showboating stuff now.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fantastic stuff from TSS.
Powell. Got past Jones. Rossi to his right. Powell doesn't want him. Now finds Lennon Thompson, and the ball back was lacking. Make that Jordan Lowe with the ball back there, and it's collected by Sandu in the 70th. Silky stuff here from the home side.
TSS had 2 4-0 wins last season, one away at Rivers in the second game and the other one at home to the Highlanders. Also scored 4 against the Whitecaps in a fantastic 4-all draw.
What a game that was.
That was just amazing, that one. That was definitely one of the games of the season. That's one of the ones from last year that you hope they somehow can put up on. I'd love to see all the games actually from last year that were streamed on Home Team to go up on the League One website. Maybe that's something that the league can work towards.
Still waiting for them to release the goals of the week at one season or another. Showcase all the guys and their skills, and the girls as well.
Did they ever actually announce the team of the season? I'm not sure that they did in
I
the
don't
end.
think so. Goal kick for Sandu. Wants to keep his team playing here. They're playing happy football right now in the 71st. They play the Whitecaps next Saturday, then back at home 4-2.
That's going to be a fantastic game out on the UBC campus next weekend. Featured game as well on the League One BC YouTube channel. You don't want to miss that. Even better though, get along to the game for that. I'll certainly be up for the men's game. Going to try and make it along for the women's game as well. Heading back from a little trip to the island, so not too sure exactly when I'll get back.
Yeah, who knows with the good old ferries nowadays.
Yeah, I'm banking that I'm getting back for the second game, but who knows.
Throwing here for Tyler Dillon as a triple sub here for Mike Sheeran's Unity, and a dejected figure right now is Mike Sheeran. Is that ball pushed over by Polisi as Powell is one of them.
Yeah, we'll do our quick little scan to see who has and who has
Marcel
not come
Bona
in.
is off. Kieran Eve is off, and trying to see.
Every number I see is somebody that I'm expecting. James Cameron is on, the number 13.
Keyshawn Francois as well as this one towards Edwardson. The goal is wide open. Edwardson holds it in, trying to get it from a tight angle. Edwardson back across and out of the reach of Mahia.
The two guys on hat tricks were waiting there for the cut back. It just didn't come to them in time. Coline going on a little bit of a walkabout there. But yeah, the second of the Vancouver FC development players, James Cameron, has come on, the number 13.
Lennon Thompson been very quiet here for Unity since coming on a bit ago.
Victor Chambucho is not going to give this game up, though. He's still going to battle away.
Powell limping, somehow played it through there. Nice move from Jordan Lowe, deflected off of Barrett. Dillon will try and make sure this ball stays out, but it, or in rather, will not.
And that looks a tough one. Was it Powell that went down there? Seen a couple of injuries in the women's game on the TSS side that did not look good.
Yeah, I believe it is Powell. As Hodut is off for Unity.
I mean, this would be a big, big blow for Unity if Thomas Powell picks up any kind of injury. And right away they are calling over to the bench for more help here. Thomas Powell, joint leading scorer for Unity last year with 3 goals. Certainly has been a live wire to start the season for the Langley-based side.
So Hodut's off. So is Rossi and Marcel Bona. In came Keyshawn Francois, James Cameron, and I think Devin Chesko, the number 2.
It's good to see Thomas Powell up there. He is such an influential player for them, and he's going to be such an influential player as well for Trinity Western in the seasons to come.
Good job by the Total Therapy team to help out as Powell in some serious discomfort here as he walks off.
It's going to be his last action of the game as well, as we're going to see Luca Alberti coming on. Another one of the Trinity Western rookies from last season. Or in fact, they've changed the number. It's no longer Luca Alberti.
It is Karush Jamshidi coming in.
You can see I left that one for Gideon.
Thanks. In the 75th.
I don't know why I bother printing these rosters out. They just change the numbers left, right and centre on us.
Corner kick taken pretty well to the back stick And that one's going to go all the way through past Lennon Thompson. Goal kick for Sandu here. Here's Smichenko.
You feel there's more goals still left in this one.
Uni as well, trying to show themselves onto the score sheet, but as it stands today, both games 4-0.
Because you've always got to remember, these players are not just playing for a result, even though the result may look like it's long gone for them. They're trying to put themselves to get noticed in the shop window. If they can show the attitude that they won't let their heads go down. And here they go again, TSS.
For Ivan Mejia off the post.
Nearly the hat-trick, denied by the post.
Here is Jones. Looks like Adeni came in for Edwardson moments ago. Number 2 for TSS is here's Escobar. Escobar keeps going. Escobar still. Lost it. Francois now on the ball for Unity. Good run and foul by Jones. That's going to be a yellow card. I thought it would be anyways for stopping the attack. My apologies.
Nice little burst of pace there to get that attack going as well from Adeniyi. Really liked what I've seen from him in the short bits that we've seen in the game.
77th free kick quickly taken from the Langley side of their own half. Lennon Thompson for Chesko and now Francois. McMillan heavily to try and help out, but Shambusho found Francois. Now Jordan Lowe for Unity out wide here. James Cameron trying to take on Dylan. Top of the 18, Shambusho bounced off his knee, trying to play it through there for Lowe, offside. And Sandu came out of his goal there rather aggressively, and thankfully for the Rovers, it didn't go awry.
Nice little move, though, from Unity. That will give Mike Sheeran a bit of hope. As we touched on earlier as well, it's a tough start to the season for Unity because they're playing on the road. It's like TSS have got all these home games, but Unity's got 5 games on the road before having 6 of their next 7 at home as well. So big stuff. Well, I say at home, one of them is in Chilliwack. It's kind of a home game. It's kind of halfway between Rivers and Langley. My geography maybe not 100% there with it being halfway, but it's close. So it's all out in the interior way anyway.
Cameron on the ball in the touchline from Thompson. Good running here from Cameron. It's impressed me with his pace. Back to the top of the 18 for Lowe. Trying to find Francois, and Chesko might fall there for Jones, who no nonsense defending, just rips it back into the Unity half.
James Cameron showing that fight that Mike Sheeran's going to want to see.
Mejia now. What a ball. Habibullah racing on it here for the Rovers. He's in behind his pursuit. Habibullah. Can he make it 3 for the Rovers? Foul! No! Said the referee as he was pushed over here in the 79th.
Went down very easily. Is a generous way of saying that.
That's what happens when you're on a hat trick.
Yes.
Anything.
Oh, I would be doing exactly the same, yeah. I wouldn't be in the hat trick to start with, of course. But
You'd be in goal down 3 or something like that. Chesko through for Cameron, collected by Smichenko. And now Mejia.
Cameron certainly added a bit of
him and Francois have some energy. This Coline will grab it here, but they have add a little more dynamic to Unity. They were kind of compact the first 20 minutes of this half here. So here's Torreson. Cameron will again try to tear it on this left side. Bounces right into the hands of Sandu. If the Rovers can keep a clean sheet here over the next 10 minutes, it's 2 in the last 2 games and 180 minutes of clean sheet soccer.
I'll have to work out the streak record.
Here's Sandu. Here's Smichenko. Dylan Mejia. Foul there on Mejia by James Cameron.
Titanic effort so far from James Cameron since he's come on the pitch. Been waiting to throw that one in. He's not going to give up. His heart is going to go on till they can get Unity on the score sheet here. Are we going to see a hat-trick for the second week running? There's 2 players can possibly do it. Time is running out. I do wonder if maybe Darren Rusher had different plans for the subs, but because the 2 guys are on hat-tricks that he maybe has kept them on, as Cameron again played in there, and that was a tight decision. But the flag goes up for offside on the far side.
Neither teams here have had their way to water. Hasn't been a hydration break yet in this game.
Yeah, I thought we might have had one, but no. Unity, though, you have that sinking feeling, I'm sure, that this game has gone away from them.
Here's Brett as the Rovers terminate the opposition here with 9 minutes to go. Adeni out wide for Mejia. Adeni in space to his left. Mejia doesn't want him. He's got his eyes for goal. Mejia keeps running. Stopped by Colin. A kick save.
Another good save there by Colin. That's one of your hockey saves that you're used to calling.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't often see that. Kick save.
I think Colin's been absolutely excellent for Unity this afternoon.
We don't often say that, giving up 4 goals.
I know. I mean, he's one of my players of the game for Unity, for sure. Having a bit of trouble with the sun. You don't see keepers wearing hats anymore.
Not enough.
No. It's like there's so many times you see keepers like shielding their eyes. It's like, get a hat.
They do get ostracized for it every time you see a keeper wear a hat. Like, what's wrong? It's Mejia trying to play it into the path of Kyle Jones. Left-footed ball. It's a beauty! Oh, Smichenko's head was there. And getting the punch to it was Colin. Here's Dylan halfway in 83 minutes.
He says not letting up. They want to go nap in this one.
Jones now back out to the side for Mejia. Beautiful little flick move back to himself.
Another fun little tussle there between Torreson and Kyle Jones. He was not going to let him get past him there.
Dylan back retreating here for the Rovers. He'll just chest it simply back to Justin Sandu. Finds Brett. Now McMillan for the Rovers. Adeni to his left. Finds him in space. Adeni running at Chesko. St. Francis University player out in Maritimes. Brett. Now Escobar. Got it from McMillan. Escobar towards Habibullah and grabbed there by Colin. He'll toss it right back for Keyshawn Francois. Hustling back was Escobar. He's got the freshest legs here as Francois beat him smoothly. Francois into the box for Unity. Beautifully done. Lays it back here. Jordan Lowe effort and warranted a better shot there after that effort by Francois to get into the attacking box.
Justin Sandu clearly wasn't as worried about that as possibly it looked like it could have been. Unity, though, in the last 5-10 minutes or so have really kind of upped it. The substitutions have helped as Masood Habibullah sadly making his way off the pitch. You can tell he doesn't want to come off. He wanted that hat-trick so badly, but what a shift from the big striker. 2 goals in a 6-minute spell to kick off his 2023 League One campaign.
Kean Proctor checks in. The big striker.
I've been bigging up Kean Proctor as well as being a good one to watch, and we've only had a few minutes off him so far, but this feels like the kind of game that he can maybe come into now and grab his first goal as a Rover.
We almost had one against Harborside last week and elected to give it to Edwardson instead, who deposited one back to the back of the net. Here's Brennan Torreson, watched by Mejia. And now Polisi. Kyle Jones lost it. Cameron trying to speed to it. Ball flew into touch here. And now Polisi back for Jones. It goes off of a uni for a very deep throw for Tyler Dillon here.
Very impressive, though, the track back work from Matteo Polisi as well. It's Kyle Jones down with a little knock.
Taylor Richardson seemingly gets up right away, and Jones might have run his race here this afternoon.
Hopefully nothing too serious for him.
You'd expect this same 11 to take the pitch next Saturday as well.
Yeah, just going to run that one off.
Take a serious foul to get that man off the pitch. Mind you, he's usually the one fouling, so either way.
It's been fantastic to see Kyle Jones in our Rovers jersey the last 2 seasons, because I was always wanting him to play here during the USL days.
Well, he tore apart this team with Calgary Foothills.
Yeah, I mean, him and his brother Adam were just happy to stay loyal to Calgary and with Tommy Wheeldon. And he was always the guys, because I've watched him coming through the Whitecaps, I've watched him playing at SFU, I wanted him to play for the Rovers, and now we have got him, and he's been such a key addition.
Jones fouled again there by Cameron.
Great guy off the pitch as well, good musical taste, which would mean you would probably hate it, Gideon.
If it's anything post-2015, I'm happy.
Did you go and see your weird concert?
Not yet.
Oh.
This Wednesday. I can't wait. Thanks for remembering, though.
Oh, yeah, of course you're missing the Whitecaps game.
Yes, very disappointed about that one. We'll be watching from afar. Of course, you can't get free media food this time. You'll have to be a paying spectator. So.
Oh, no, I'll get free media. I'm there on a media pass.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Again? Wow. There you go.
This time I'm on the media side, not the media officer side. I can always find free food, don't worry. Talking of free food, we just want to thank our PA announcer Stephen as well for the empanadas that he brought us between the games. Believe he's going to do that every game now for us.
Yes, we expect those every game now. So, 88th minute here at Swangard. Weekly empanadas is our theme of the broadcast this week.
He's also said if anyone wants to come up to the commentary booth, he'll provide them for everyone.
Yes. He had about 15 bags up here of them, so we were giving them out at halftime. And
you can also find them at WFC 2 games as well.
free kick for Keyshawn Francois. Remember him coming through the Whitecap system as a dangerous player, a big striker.
Yeah.
Great left foot, as you see here, trying to play it for Thompson.
A Granada international as well. Don't see many internationals on the pitch during the League One season. This is going to be double substitution for TSS. We're guessing because we just see legs under the white tent right now. And I see 4.
Kyle Jones' day is over, as is, I thought, Polisi, but I guess not. So that was the 4th official and the assistant referee.
Ah.
That was deceiving.
Rovers bench just making sure that Kyle is okay. Such a key player for this team. As they like to play dangerously at the back sometimes.
That's what's called a heart palpitation just then.
Time running out. We're into just over a minute left. Can we get a 5th?
Proctor towards Richardson. Back for Adedi in a way as the depth guys for TSS.
As Richardson ends up in the Swan Guardians, he'll have to have that beer later, they're saying. You need to get back on the pitch.
He's thirsty.
He just saw that paddling pool in the palm tree and he just couldn't resist.
Yeah, it's a beach party theme for the Rovers this afternoon, by the way. Got a palm tree and a wading pool. Little sign there as well that I can't read from here with my young eyes. Very nice. Always know how to put on a party to those fans down there here approaching the 90th minute.
It's not quite been a day at the beach for TSS, but it's been another comfortable victory for them. Back to back now, and this is exactly what this team were needing to do. Oh, a
tough
heavy
tackle there on
late one
Proctor.
there.
Chesko will get a yellow card for that one. Not what you want to see late on here.
Proctor just up. Good young player just shaking that off. As we move into stoppage time, which looks
2
like
minutes?
3. I think 3.
3 minutes about a time.
Gideon struggling with numbers again.
It's the tent. The tent has just made us all day long here.
Yeah, it isn't ideal. We might need to work on that for games going forward.
We can just broadcast in the stands. Brett trying to play it through for Mejia. Might drop down, and a brave header there by Banovic. Tough day at the office for the number 19 of Unity.
Yeah, I haven't really called his name much as a Unity. Still keeping pressing there. James Cameron has really impressed me since he's come on. And that's exactly what Vancouver FC have sent him here to do. And when you're one of those guys on a developmental contract with a CPL team and you're coming down with this new project and the pathway between League Ones and the CPL, you want to kind of stand out when you've come on, and I think James Cameron's done an excellent job since he has come on. We'll give our usual AFTN players of the game. I think for Unity, Sebastian Coline rather, gets one of the two for me. Maybe struggling a little bit though to pick a second. Maybe Shambusho just for his work rate in that first half.
Jamshidi with his way forward into the Rovers box.
TSS as well. I mean, you've got two goal heroes. You've got Eric Edwardson with 2 assists. You've had a great defensive display from Smichenko. I mean, it would be easy to give it to Mejia and Habibullah. So that's what I'm going to do. But I want to give a big hat tip as well to Eric Edwardson and Smichenko for fantastic contributions today as well.
Jordan Lowe now out to the far wing. Head there for James Cameron. Offside flag goes up as he's in behind on the wrong side of the defender there. Sanu now trying to find Polisi. Now Tyler Dillon. Tough foul there on Cameron. By Cameron on Dillon, but what a match for TSS. Back-to-back 4-0 wins. And they go into next week against the Whitecaps with confidence. Goals to Mejia in the 30th, 32nd, and 60th and 66th from Masoud Habibullah. And what a full team performance here today.
Excellent performance by TSS. I mean, Unity showed some good flashes. There's a good team in there for Unity. It took them a little bit of time to find their feet last year in this division, and it might be the same again. They do have the added benefit that it's the top 4 that make the postseason, so if they can find their form later on, once they get these string of home games coming up, that will give Mike Sheehan's side some hope. For TSS, 2 very much needed back-to-back home wins, 8 goals for, no goals against, 3 clean sheets in the season as well for TSS through these first 4 games. As you say, Gideon, it's going to give them huge confidence going into next week's featured game matchup on this League One BC YouTube channel and on TELUS as well. You don't want to miss that. Whitecaps, TSS, that should be a cracker, and it should also have big implications as to who might be top of the standings come the end of the regular season.
We'll be back on June 3rd for the Rovers and Rivers. For now, Gideon Hill and Michael McCall saying so long from Swangard, your final this afternoon. Rovers 4, Unity 0.